Shalom. Call halal Yahweh Bashanah Washai Bahasham Rakakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so now more so than ever. To the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird, the Israelite foreigners. And to the few Akwaf that are listening and learning, to you I say Shalom. This is your brother MALCHAAMAH from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Chicago, coming at you with another lesson in truth. And the water to you, you Akim and you Akwath out there who prayed for me. I do feel a lot better at the water. Imagine I keep on this track, I'll be myself within a couple days or so. I appreciate your prayers. But this is a very heavy lesson. I'm not going to do a lot of monologue. I'm just going to go right into the scriptures and let the videos play. In the first one, because these are the things that are about to come into play here on earth, and these things are literally going to happen within months, if not weeks. These things are going to, this is it. Because the Esau is pulling out all stops, and he's unready to leash his sword, which was his gift. As a matter of fact, let's grab those scriptures first. Let me get Genesis, the 27th chapter. All right. I believe the 40th verse here. Yeah, this is Genesis 27 and 4. All right. Because when it comes down to, Esau lives by the sword. His propaganda, his lies, and all his craft. When that doesn't work, he just comes with the sword. Like it says in Wisdom of Solomon, let our sword be our might, roughly paraphrased. Or let our might be what's right. It doesn't matter what's right, or what justice is or what fairness is. It's like we got the swords, you don't, we're right. But this is Genesis 27 and 40. And it reads, by the sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion, and that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. And yes, we did have them in derision, and they were under us. But they broke loose, and they've been living by the sword ever since. All right, that started with Alexander. When Alexander of Macedon conquered the Europeans, the dark-fleshed Europeans, and took over Europe and started calling themselves Greeks, they have been in power pretty much, except for that 1,000-year period after Rome fell. And they lost Europe, to the Israelites, and then they took it back over during the Renaissance. That fulfilled prophecy, and they have been living by the sword ever since. Okay, let's go to what is it? Psalms 17 and 13. Yes, and it reads, arise, O Yahweh, disappoint him. Cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. All right? And the scriptures tell you in Maccabees that the wicked is Esau Edom, the descendants of Alexander of Macedon, who the world refers to as Alexander the Great. They call him Alexander the Great because through him, the so-called white race came into power for the first time in the earth. All right? And it also tells you that when they came into power, that wickedness increased here in the earth. All right, that's what it tells you. And what they're about to plan and what they're doing is very, very wicked. All right.
20. The elites have let us know that they're not going to stop. They're going from pandemic to racial to the second wave that is coming, and they're also messing with deliveries and food supplies. Be ready. Don't be one of those people that's going to be completely and utterly dependent on the government. Again, when COVID broke out, I did no advertising whatsoever at all.
Let's click right to here.
Agenda 21. We've known about Agenda 21 for over 10 years. So they've been planning Agenda 21 for who knows how long.
Which is an extermination of extermination level depopulation. And the main people that they want to get rid of, that they want on Agenda 21, is you undesirables, and that is listed as Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All the rest of you will fall into place. You could also look up not only Agenda 21, but you can look up Rex 84 and the King Alfred program, when they've all been kind of co-mingled into one. All right, because it in the beginning it only said I think if Agenda 21 only says Negroes, and then and then Rex 84 added in the Latinos and Native Americans. All right.
But Agenda 21 will be instituted under the guise of a Great Reset. But before they did that, they had to completely break and house train American people. And COVID-19 did that. It's the most amazing pandemic ever before seen. Nobody's dead, nobody's sick, you can't see it anywhere. It's the new terrorism. It's perfect. And it's unbelievably obvious. And the only way to get out of this is for people to stop doing what they say. Well, you can't open your business unless you do. Well, then screw it. I'm not opening my business. Well, you can't go to the movies. You can't go here. You can't go there unless you do. Then nobody go. But that's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. Everybody has snapped right into line, and they are all in. They're all in the chute. They're all heading down to the slaughterhouse right now, and they don't even get it. And it blows me away, and it pisses me off because I'm only 52 years old, and with the way things are, I won't be alive much longer. That is a fact. That is a fact. If I get another year, that would be amazing. But I don't believe it's going to happen. Because one of these days, there's going to be a clash. I will not put up with their nonsensical bullshit. I won't wear a mask. I won't promote social distancing. I won't believe in any of this. And I'll continue to tell everybody, and I'll continue to bring doctors on, and I'll continue to show.
Lots of doctors and medical people and scientists have come against this hard and are speaking out because they're falsifying scientific data all in the name of their agenda. All right, they're lying. You got police officers are gathering together and quitting and leaving and joining militias. And police officers, a lot of them have always been a part of these militias. All right, and these militias, for the most part, are pro-American, pro-constitutionalist, and a lot of them are very anti-Negro, Latino, and Native American. You best believe that. Crazy times are about to hit this place, and it's going to probably more than likely happen this summer. It's more than likely going to happen this summer as jobs continue to disappear into 2021. You people making plans for next year and to buy a new house and a new car, and there's no going back. There's no more normal. All right. You independent women who say you don't need a man, you women who walk away from men of the Lord, leave men of the Lord, scoff at them, call them names, call the authorities on them. Life's about to really suck for you.
Them, double speaking. COVID can't live in the hot temperatures, everybody, so there's a relief. Summertime shows up. COVID is at an all-time high. Yeah, but it isn't. It isn't. If you didn't have a television, you'd never...
And you know what? Another thing, too, a virus can't live in a body forever because it says viruses die at 83 degrees. The average, you're 98 degrees, 97.9 to 98 degrees, 24/7, 365. So no virus can live in you forever. It has to die. The only way a virus can live in that sort of extreme heat is if it's man-made, if it's a bioweapon. All right, so like he said, they're double talking, they're lying. And you dummies, you stupid sheeple Americans are eating it up.
I didn't know any of this was going on because it's not real. It's all been conjured up by the scumbags that overtook Hollywood, or actually created Hollywood.
As a matter of fact, I had someone that asked me, was I a Republican or Democrat because of the way I was speaking, because most Republicans are anti-mask and not wearing a mask. Most Republican states aren't wearing it. Because you know what? I think they're a little bit smarter collectively because they read more and do a little bit more research, and they know that wearing a mask is not going to protect you from COVID. It simply isn't. All right, the size, they're so small, they're so small, is so microscopic that a mask does not work. The breaking down, giving the analogy of a chain link fence. Everyone knows what a chain link fence look like, okay? So a chain link fence will not keep mosquitoes or flies from coming through it. That's how ineffective a mask is. But what it does do is it destroys your respiratory system. Let's go to the next video.
And it's funny, CNN and Fox never report on the fact that this black business was destroyed, or that this off-duty, this security officer who was a retired St. Louis police lieutenant who happened to be black was murdered by Antifa defending the store he was charged with protecting. You don't hear that in the mainstream media. So there are two camps there: reasonable protesters and the anarchists that had a planned agenda to bring down this country and use this as the issue. Now, the end game you asked me about, it's regime change, totally. It's about, number one, their short-term goal was to discredit Trump and make people hate their lives. And of course, we blame the president when the economy has a downturn and people lose their jobs. So it was about regime change with the president. Let's get someone in there, say like a Biden, who will have a dictator as vice president because he won't last a month in the White House with his cognitive decline. He'll resign, or someone will take him out on the 25th Amendment, and someone like Hillary will become president. And that's when the reign of terror will start. We're looking at a communist revolution, and communist revolutions are always accompanied by reigns of terror. And they have set out the legislation that was put through by Obama. Now, people may not understand baseball, but let me explain something. In the eighth inning, when you have the lead, you put in what's called your setup pitcher, and his job is to maintain the lead. And then he passes the game off in the ninth inning to the closer, who shuts things down and preserves victory. It was intended that Obama was the setup guy with the NDAA, where we can snatch people we don't like off the streets without due process and no one knows what happens to them. Or we can have Executive Order 13603, that was Obama's executive order, that can take complete control of the economy, steal any resource or property from a person, can move people and conscript them into slave labor and separate families in the process of doing so.
Did you hear that?
People say, oh, Dave, there he goes again. I'm sorry, folks, it's part of the Federal Register.
It's
Look
legit.
up under executive orders. Yeah, it's 13603. And this is what you and I have talked about earlier.
It's like I said, man, niggas and spiggers and dumbass Americans, excuse my French, my German, my Japanese, whatever you want to call it. They don't read or do research. They look to Fox and CNN, which are to get their information, and those are the news outlets are in league and controlled by the very people that are doing this. You can't look to them for answers. You got to actually open up articles and read and research for yourself. As a matter of fact, if Americans did that, you wouldn't have as many people as you do wearing masks. Driving in a car all by your goddamn self with a mask on. Where you gonna get COVID from? Your steering wheel? From your seat? It's your car, dummy.
Here, Lisa, is that we were talking about these things 5-7 years ago, and now they're coming into possibility. I'm telling you right now, if the wrong people get in charge, in other words, if we lose this election, I don't think there'll be FEMA camps.
See, he's making this sound like this is a if. This is a certain. This is going to happen. It's scriptural, first of all. All right, and it's going to happen, and it's not going to be 10 years from now. It's not going to be 5 years from now. This could happen within, like I said, within weeks or months. A lot of these things, this food issue, because they are going to use food as a weapon, as you're going to hear him say. That thing's right around the corner, weeks away.
Under Trump. But if we lose this election and these Bolsheviks take over, they're not Democrats any longer. They're communists, as identified by Trevor Loudon and his great work, Enemies Within. If these communists take over, a year from now, we will see a purge. We will see people going to FEMA camps and not coming out. They're already setting up food to be used as a weapon to lure people to the camps. There are 20 meatpacking plants that are closed. Now, it would be a simple matter. like we sent the National Guard in to do nursing duties in New York, it'd be a simple matter to keep these meatpacking plants open and send the National Guard in to keep them open, so we didn't have meat shortages and food inflation and all these other problems that are hitting our food supply. But for some unknown reason, we didn't do it, and Trump hasn't taken control of the situation, and we are on the verge now of food inflation. My wife got hit with quota purchases for meat 2 weeks ago here in Arizona. My sister got hit with them in Colorado, Aurora, Colorado, a suburb of Denver. It's happening right now as we speak. Wendy's and McDonald's having trouble getting meat. So they're going to use food as a weapon, and they're going to get, if they don't like you and you cross that line to get the government food, you ain't leaving that camp.
I tell you right now, get your body used to not eating so much meat. I eat meat today, but I don't eat a whole lot of meat anymore. All right, and I've gotten a lot healthier, a lot leaner, and a lot more muscular as a result of it. All right. You know, you don't need meat in every meal. You need to meat all the time. You need to start eating more vegetables and fruits, more greens. You need to start eating more things that come out of the earth. And that's just some sound, solid advice.
And they actually practiced for this, Lisa, in 2011 under Obama in an operation called Operation Mountain Guardian. And InfoWars had a reporter on the scene that covered it very, very well. And then I was able to follow up and talk to some people who were involved in the exercise. And the exercise was multi-purpose, but just for the purpose of what we're talking about here, what they did is they went and snatched the kids from elementary schools, they being DHS and FEMA under Obama, and took them to Sports Authority Field where the Denver Broncos play NFL football.
I remember
this. And they
this.
hired crisis actors to play parents trying to get their kids back, or other crisis actors going there to try to get food. And by the time these crisis actors were mobilized, the parents who went to pick Johnny up at elementary school found Johnny wasn't in class. Where is he? Oh, the government came and got him. What? Where the hell did he take him? Sports Authority Field. And then they almost had near riots where they called in the Denver police and they were going to tear gas people. This is what they've already practiced for. Snatching your kids to get you to come to the camp so you don't come out, or using food as a weapon where you have to go to the government to get your food. And if you're on the list, you ain't leaving.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right, because I've studied the executive orders, the civil labor document where they can use people for civil labor in these camps. And you said a lot of very important things there. And look, when communism takes over, a country becomes communist, you have a communist in lead. Not one of those countries was it ever a quote-unquote pretty little picture. Look what's going on in China right now. He's got re-education camps under Hitler. We had concentration camps under Stalin.
That's why your children were pulled out of school, and more than likely they'll never be going back, because traditional education is no longer needed, because you have a new world system that's being in place. So they're going to need to re-educate everyone. So more than likely, something's going to happen, and there's not going to be school anymore. Especially if this. Think about it. They're already talking about relocking down. There's going to be no school. There's over for all at school. It's over for becoming a veterinarian, a lawyer, a doctor. That's done. It's over. All right. They're going to look. This is Luke 21 and 23, and it says, "But warn to them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. For there shall be great distress in the land, and a wrath is upon the people," man. Matter of fact, let me start up at verse 22. "For these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled." Man, the Lord is getting ready to unleash his wrath, and he's going to start with allowing Esau, his sword, to unleash. All right? Because the scripture says the devil's going to come down with great wrath because he knows he have but a little time. All right? Esau, Edom is falling, man. All right, and like he said, you got civil wars and racial conflicts are going to kick off. Food conflicts are going to kick off in America. All out chaos. Okay, COVID is being used to shut this place down and to distract from other things. Not to mention, World War III ain't went nowhere. You still got the nations of the world that are on the verge of going full blown World War III. All right, let's let a little bit more play.
We just had a nightmare regime, whether you're far left or far right. It's the same principles ruling these people. And if we had something similar, a lot of people think, oh, that could never happen in the United States of America. But the truth of the matter is all the documentation is there. All the laws, all the rules, just like we said, all the rules were in place for these lockdowns.
And see, they set it all up during Barack Obama, when Barack Obama was in office. That's what he did for you stupid Negroes who loved him so much. All right, because he had brown skin, and he's a Hamite. He is not your people, man. He's that other dark meat. All right, Israelites, the Negroes, are a different race than Africans, the Hamites. They are not the same. All right, Barack's not so attractive wife was your people, but Barack himself was not. He is not your people.
That they can implement, even though they're in straight disregard to our constitutional rights, they're there, right? And so these are the things that we warned about, and now it is a terrifying thought to think if we get some kind of new regime change, as you called it, under Joe Biden, because Joe Biden wouldn't be leading the country, he's half gone, right? So the fact of the matter is, it's a definite possibility, and it's a terrifying future, especially if they bring in these FEMA camps, RX-80.
It's not, no, see, she was talking about Rex 84, RX 84. As a matter of fact, let's take it back. Which is, and Rex 84 is a document that's written specifically against you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. You are first on the list. They got militias and white hate groups, KKK and skinheads and that whole sort of thing. But the first on that list are you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man.
Terrifying future, especially if they bring in these FEMA camps, RX-84 centers, and I believe there's 30 some odd around the country, and then there's other ones that
There are camps all over America that are ready and primed, and they have been for years now. This is it's gonna get bad out here. This is, and soon. This is Daniel 12 and 1, and it reads, "And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation, even to that time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be written in the book." And that's speaking of the elect. All right, the elect men, women, and children of the nation of Israel, not anyone else. All right, so with that, stay prayed up, get yourself right. Call Halal Yahweh B'Shem Avashai, B'Shem Rakakwadash, Wa Abba Shalom.